Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, a special guest is in the house, Oscar Garcia, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, I talked about it previously on a Saturday night, no less, because this is important. Oscar's bringing us something that can offer you opportunity. And if you don't like opportunity, you're an influencer, you're a motivational speaker, you're a webinar guy, you're a seminar guy, you're an entrepreneur. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to miss out on what Instavid AI can do for you. And because it's going to do it for me as well, I got to share it with you guys because you know that's what we do here. And welcome. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, I want to thank you so much for being here, but make sure you share the videos. There's a lot of people who do not know that this exists. There's also a lot of people, well, let's just call it what it is, do not realize that there are startups right in their midst and they could participate along with the growth. And what do I mean by that? That means you get some return passive income possibilities. Oh, you got to stay tuned. We have a lot for you. Oscar does programming and he has a little bit of help, but nonetheless, he directs this great ship forward. And ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to miss it. And by the way, unfortunately for you, I have inside information, but now you are going to know the information that's going to get you excited. So let me see who's in the house first. We have Laverne Penix here. An investor is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Saturday Night Entrepreneur Live Edition. And he has that icon next to his name, which means he's a member of the channel. He brings his tagline, hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. Hello. And Laverne Penix is also known as Mr. AKA Mr. Cole. And he's here. And he received a notification and saw the trailer. Thank you so much for that. And everybody else, come along for the ride. Don't tell anybody I did not warn you, because you only have a few opportunities in life, and here's one of them. All right, without further ado, let me bring out the special guest of the hour. Oscar Garcia is here. He's joining me on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing tonight, Oscar?
Man, I love your intros every time. I'm doing great. I'm pumped.
All right. I love to hear this, man. This is awesome. Yes, I am pumped as well, because ever since I was fortunate enough to find out about Instavid AI and what it can do for so many different people, even though I mentioned only a few of the genres that it can help. But this can get everybody on almost equal footing quicker than if you had to be one of these big time influencers that people have heard of that seemingly are able to put out videos like every hour or two, but they don't realize they have a staff that they're paying to put them out. And now you are creating something that I won't need a staff. This is incredible. So I got to hear about it. We talked about it last week, but let's just get everybody up to speed, because there's people on Saturday that don't know anything about this. So let's hear about it.
Perfect. Well, listen, obviously, for many of us as entrepreneurs, what we all want is exposure. And we want to get that exposure as fast as possible so we can, yell about our goods, our wares, our services, or whatnot. So I don't have a unique problem. I have the same problem everybody else, had. The difference though is I'm a programmer. and I have a staff of programmers. And when we get an idea, we run with it. And I shouldn't say that. When I get an idea, I challenge the guys and they said, "Oh, that sounds crazy. Let's see if it works." And
Yes.
then we go in. It's kind of like, a couple of nerds all put together, and we're all trying to see if we can prove whether the idea is viable or not. And
That's
in
right.
programming, it's all about iterations. How fast can you go from version 1 to version 2 to version 3? Now,
Exactly.
what do you think your audience knows about AI? Do you think we need to go
No.
through that a little bit?
Not much, not much, because AI is all over the place. You hear about Chat GPT AI, then you hear about video, then they talk about AI, and then they say, yeah, there's artwork that can be created by AI. It's all this AI synonyms, but nobody really understands it, because unless you need to use it, that's the only way you're going to figure it out. If you don't need to use it, then you don't need to figure out anything.
Correct. And you know what? AI right now works for content creators more than anybody else. So the general public doesn't know what the hell to do with it. And
Exactly.
that's the problem, right? So
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
AI. So what can you do with AI? Well, I was one of the original beta testers of a program called Corel Draw. I don't know if you guys ever remember that
Yes.
one, right? That's back in
Yes. Coral
early
Draw.
90s, Corel
Yes.
Draw, right?
One of the best programs out there, quite frankly, at the time.
I was one of their beta testers, and then we had an evolution of technology hit us called Photoshop. And
Yes.
I thought, screw those guys.
Same
Photoshop,
here.
sucks. It's not good because
Same here.
every printer, if you guys don't know this, every printer was using Corel Draw.
That's
So
right.
I was a Corel Draw beta tester. We went at
Yep.
it, and what happened? The new technology kicked our butt.
That's right.
So Photoshop took over, and then so iterations of technology happens. AI happens to be that type of iteration where machine learning then figures out how to do things that a human being was maybe some human being like myself who uses Photoshop took 10 hours to create a design. AI can now do it in a couple of seconds. So
Exactly.
so AI is good for creators right now. You're seeing apps right now that come out that says they can make a cat, a still picture, talk. Those are all great novelties. But what does it do for your business? Nothing.
That's right.
Nothing.
Exactly.
So we wanted to create a technology that actually does something for the entrepreneur. Now, here's what we're all competing with. We're all competing against the Gary Vaynerchuks of the world. We're all competing with the Tony Robbins of the world, the Taylor Swifts of the world, right? If you were a Messi, if you're a soccer fan and you know who Messi is, my son plays a little bit of soccer, so I got to hear that name. But then I researched the guy. He's one of the most well-known, individuals in the world with hundreds of millions of followers. So for you to compete with him is technically impossible because you can't create as much content as what these guys already have. Now, there's a guy on YouTube called Mr. Beast. He's one of the best YouTube. In fact, he's number one. He makes well over $50 million a year, if not more, with YouTube. He has billions of views in his videos, but he has thousands and thousands of videos. And it's because people take, creators, content creators like myself might take a skit from his and I'll add my skit plus his skit, and then it creates a video. But that is not practical for a regular business. So here's what we did. We made a system using AI that is practical for businesses. Let me give you a use case. In fact, let me share my screen and I'll go through a couple of these use cases. Let me hit present, share screen. And I'm going to share my entire screen so we can just go at it. So
Yes.
here's the practicality of it. We're talking about YouTube micro influencers. In fact, let me show you the stages of being an influencer according to YouTube. According to YouTube, if you have less than 10,000 followers, subscribers, you're what's called a nano influencer. What I mean, what that's just terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
If you had 10,000 followers in any other business, you're pretty successful.
Exactly.
So these numbers here that you see, let's put this in red. These numbers here that you see, for those of you that are joining us on video, this is the first stage. In fact, the first stage is just 1,000 subscribers, and then you get to 10,000 subscribers. But you're a nano influencer. Your total net income is still zero. You don't get paid by YouTube. But here's where it starts happening. 10,000 to 5,000. Oh, let me go back a little bit. Nano influencers at this stage, you are now a partner with YouTube. You are now a content creator with YouTube. That's why you want to become a nano influencer, because then YouTube gives you the ability to monetize.
Exactly.
So then you become a micro influencer, 10,000 to 5,000 subscribers, because you put up enough videos to do that. It's stated that, there's a lot of blogging sites out there that stated that to get to this level takes several months, right? 0 to 6 months if you're lucky, but usually it takes about a year.
Yep, year or two or three. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're consistent every day. But that's the problem.
Right. There's the
we
problem.
all have lives. We all have businesses to run. You're not going to be consistent every day.
That's right.
I mean, let's be honest. Bro, you and I can create videos, but how long does it take you to create a video?
Yeah, it's hours.
Yeah, hours. Right? That's just a film, right? But then you have editing.
Right.
You might go to maybe 1 or 2 iterations on editing, maybe a day or two, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So for you to do that while running a business, it's impossible. This is why, we want to get there, but that's the challenges that we're all facing. And just to wrap this up, look, when you go over 50,000 and you become a mid influencer, 50 to 500,000, in YouTube's eyes, you're making between $2,000 to maybe $5,000. But once you hit 1 million, you're making $10,000 to $15,000, and then 1 million plus to 10 million, 20 million. Now you're making the big bucks, right? Now you're making 20, 50, 100,000 a month.
Exactly.
So what if I told you there's a way to cheat this?
The cheat code.
Right? The cheat code of all of this. It's like, what if I told you that we are going to take this setup here? See how we're setting it up there? I'm going to take this graphic and I'm going to go back to my deck here. And look, what if I told you that this micro influencer would do better if they would literally just, interview individuals? That's what we're talking about. So what we're saying is this: if a micro influencer would interview their fans, what is the chances of their fan promoting the video? I would say 100%, right?
Yes, exactly.
So micro influencer comes in, right? They're right here. They're blogging, and kind of like what you're doing to me right now. I'm going to share this video because I'm in it.
That's right.
If I'm not in it, I might hear it. But if I get mentioned, like you mentioned a couple of the viewers that are on right now, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Because you just gave them credibility and acknowledgement, they're going, man, this guy's cool. I'm going to share his video because I want my friends to hear that he knows that I'm here, right?
That's it. That's true.
So what if we take that a step further and we go, hey, why don't you do a full-blown interview of your fan? Ask what they do, ask what they like about what you do, and ask if they would recommend your content. You do that, 100% of those fans will share the interview.
That's true.
Right?
I like it.
Now, here's the problem. That means you have to interview an individual. If you're not an AI, you're doing this one-on-one like Eric here is doing to me, and all of a sudden, it's going to take you a couple of hours, maybe a day or two.
That's
right. What if we can shrink time? That's what's exciting, right? It's like you and I were talking about this to say if we can have an AI system literally save us time, save us money, make us money, why wouldn't we use it?
That's right.
Right?
That's why it's exciting.
Oh, no, not just exciting. This is a revolution where we can have the small guy finally be able to compete with the big guy because an AI technology is multiplying their efforts.
Exactly.
This is what gets
Exactly.
interesting. So, folks, so what I'm talking about here is plainly that if it's going to cost you $2,000 to do a production and 3 days of work and all this stuff, it's going to take you, let's say, 2 days, call it 1 day per video, but you got to do one, and you have 10,000 fans. Guess what? It'll take you 10,000 days, right? Divide that by 365, it will take you 27 years to do 10,000 interviews
That's true.
until now.
That's right.
So
Instavid
it
AI.
Instavid does it for you. So if you're an influencer or you're a car dealership and you have foot traffic and you sell a car, wouldn't you want your customer right there on the spot to make a customer testimonial and not only share it on your social media, but what if that customer shares it on their social media? Right? Look, I'm Mexican. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm Mexican, right? I'm a minority. And we talk like crazy and we have a shitload of cousins. And
Yep.
I'm saying that when my family sees me go buy a new car, they're a little jealous. That sometimes it happens, right? They're a little
That's
jealous.
right.
They go, "Holy shit! What? Oh, he thinks he's so good now. Look, he just bought a car, right?" And then I say, "Thank you, Mr. Ford dealership, for this brand because Latinos like
Yeah.
our F-150s.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Ford dealership, for this great F-150 Lightning. I love it. It's my color, and you guys saved me $5,000 and I was in and out in less than an hour." You don't think half of Mexico is going to come to that dealership? You better
Right.
believe it, right?
That's right.
Because I shared it on my social media, not just the dealership social media. The dealership social media, excuse me, only has their users. But when the video is shared on my social media, they acquire my users. Now
That's right.
you multiply that by 100 people. So let's do the numbers. If 100 people have 500 friends on Facebook, you just gained 50,000 brand new eyeballs. That's huge. That's huge. Multiply that by, here, this station here, 14,000, subscribers. Let's say they all have 500, people that follow them on Facebook or Instagram, on YouTube. Guess what? This station right here, if we interviewed everybody and everybody used Instavid and posted their videos on social media, you would gain 7 million eyeballs.
Exactly. And now the question starts being in people's minds is, wait a minute, what does he mean by this? We'll go through some numbers, but the technology is what aids them in doing this, which we'll get to shortly, because by the normal process, we would have to record, we have to edit, we got to take time. Next thing you know, an hour, 2 hours have went by. Sure, we can load up a minute, 2-minute video in a shorter time, but it's still an hour or two. We have to render it. We have to get it up to YouTube or Facebook or wherever you want to send it out to. And that's still hours. So this with Instavid AI, we're talking about minutes. So we record a video, which is, we can do 60 seconds to about what, 10 minutes, I believe it is.
Yes.
Or is that what it is? So we can do our 60 seconds to 10-minute video. We have it on our phone, literally. We can have it on our phone. Everybody has a phone.
Yep.
And then you can upload it into Instavid AI right then. And you can have everything, the response loaded right then. So you have shrunk everything from hours down to, I would have to logically say, less than 30 minutes. I mean,
Absolutely. Well, your side of it is going to be, hey, you're going to spend maybe 5 minutes answering a couple of questions, and then the system in under 2 minutes after that will generate the video that is shareable both for the reporter who or the host who's interviewing you and for yourself. In under 7 minutes, you can literally be dishing out videos left and right that your fans will then be promoting your services and your products.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what's major. And it's monetized as well, which we'll get into. But that's the key as well. I mean, for both parties, it can be monetization, which is incredible. Nobody else has done this as far as I know. Not on both ends. Usually it's the influencer, the big guys that have their crowd, and then they say, I get emails all the time. We just had our conference here. Why don't you buy our videos? And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's nice, but now I'm buying videos and then they're charging me to buy them. Now I still have to produce. I still have to spend hours to produce it. It's crazy. And here we give an option on both ends for both parties to be able to monetize, depending on, and they have a choice. But let's look at this right now to give people an idea who don't know about it.
So let's look at the entire, use case. I'm going to show you a finished product. This is what the finished product looks like, where, for instance, we made this sample page. You can go to it yourself. It's at instavidai.com. We pre-recorded us as a host. You'll see my face there as a host asking you 3 questions. And these are the same things that you could do for your business. If you're a dentist, if you're a car dealership, if you're a semi Tony Robbins type of guy, if you're a direct sales company, if you're anybody who needs to reach out to individuals, right? And you want your fans to tell people how good your products or services is, this is what we're talking about. Now, watch this. This entire production you're going to see here right now is done by Instavid automatically. And you can see that we can load any type of animation and any type of intro. So you have your intro that comes in there, and that audio voice that you hear there is something that's programmable. So it says, welcome. Anything you type in, it's going to say it, and it's going to say, we have a great interview. That's what we programmed it to you to do. When you create your own campaigns, you can program it to say whatever you wish on the intro, and then you're going to have a series of animations that will match your business, so that way the intro matches what you do, and then we go into the questions. This will be the host right here.
Okay, we can't hear you. We don't have the feedback from there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I need to, share something there. But just for an example, let me just share with you how this works. And then I'm going to actually do one live right now, and you guys can actually see it. So that was the first question. This was my answer to that question. And then this was the second question. And then we get into answering the second question. That my wife was helping me answer that question. We were messing around. And then this was the third question. And then it comes to, the end of answering the questions. And then the video ends with whatever we wish. Now, how did I make that? I'm going to show you that, and you'll see that all the details that we want shareable is going to be here. The links to your social media, any type of description, any type of sales, anything you want can be there. And when this video is done, all you're going to do is hit what your social media platforms do you want to post. So for instance, I'm logged into my Facebook. So if I click on Facebook, guess what? It starts posting it live on my Facebook right here.
Beautiful.
You see that? So,
Beautiful.
So in other words, we just, in this example, we just went from full production in under 2 to 3 minutes and posting on social media 30 seconds after that. Now watch this. This is what's exciting about this. All right. I'm going to put in here Eric, and I'm going to mix in Eric's name and my name, Garcia. I'm going to put in, an email address here, info@instavid.ai. And this is a new feature we just launched, custom end text. So whatever text you put here, SSN Nation, thank you very much, is what we're going to put in here. Click the links, right? So we're going to put that message, and we're going to record an example here just to show you guys how easy this is, how easy we're making this for everybody. Excuse me. And we're going to do it a little different. So here's the first question. It says, welcome to our show, but I want to show you guys this. I want to show you, let me stop sharing real quick. I'm going to show you that I'm going to use my camera, and I'm going to take the interview from the desktop to my camera. Now, I got a unique feature on my camera. I can actually show you the inside of my camera using the Z Fold. So watch this. I'm going to go to Instavid, and as you see here, I'm going to be, answering that question. So I'm going to hit continue, and see this QR code there? I'm scanning the QR code. I'm going to scan that QR code. Oops, here it is. And I'm going to be thrown, that doesn't show it. I'm going to be thrown right into the first interview. So literally, I can literally at this point record my answer. Here I am. We're actually recording this live right now, and we're recording this live. Answer number one is, how did I hear about you? A friend of mine told me about you. So we hit the stop button after we record that example, and you'll notice that once we get back here, let me present, share screen again, and I'm going to share my entire screen. Once we get back here, I'm now in question number 2, so I'm going to hit next on my phone over here, and I can just refresh out here, and now we're on question number 2, ready to record question number 2. And I'm gonna do this again on my phone. So let's for right now stop sharing, and I'll just continue on my phone. So question number 2 is, and I'm going to record my answer to question number 2. Answer to question number 2 is, the best thing that you can do is get up off your butt and do something for your business today. And I'm going to stop that recording, go to question number 3 of what that host is asking us to do. So on question number 3, we just do the same thing, and we're going to be answering the next questions. It's that easy, folks. It's that easy. So just to wrap this up, I'm going to just record one more question number 3. You know what? This was a pleasure recording this for the SSN Nation. And then I'm going to stop that. I'm going to share my screen again. And I'm going to show you guys how fast this system is already compiling all that information and the end. So watch this. I get to refresh. The system is integrating between the desktop and my phone. So this could work at a seminar, right? You're the seminar guy. You tell people to scan the QR code and to leave a customer testimonial of what they just seen in the seminar. And instantaneously, you can have 500 interviews happening instantaneously. Think about that. Forget about doing one-on-ones interviews. You can do 500 interviews instantaneously on this thing. So as that compiles, let's talk about other use cases. We're going to give this about a minute, and I'll show you how at the end it talks about SSN Nation. But basically, this is what we just did.
Yes.
Right? Traditionally,
Exactly.
you do this. Now I'm one of these blue guys. I just answered one of these things, and when this thing is done, I'm going to share it on my social media about your business. or whatever, person is using the system. Guys, nothing is out there that does this. So think about this. This was the process I just went through. We told the AI what to say. It's prepping it. It watched us do the interview. The host, like Eric, will upload questions, 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 10. It's up to him. I get to choose what questions to answer. I answer it. I answer it. And all of the editing is being done behind the scenes as we speak. And it's going to create a final video that you didn't have to do anything for, but the AI system was there working for you.
Man.
Hey, Eric.
Oh my goodness. This is so powerful. I just can't believe it. I'm in shock by this. I can't believe this doesn't even exist. And you're creating it. And by creating it also, you can actually do any updates right now. You can always change it based on what a person needs, or if a lot of people need it. You can
That was your idea, by the way. That was your idea at the end. He gave me the idea 2 days ago. He said, hey, wouldn't it be better if I tell the system to say something at the end? Oh, I forgot, right? And then I go, okay, man, we better start coding that. That was your idea. Yes.
It was. Oh, man. Oh, man. Just like that. I love it. I love it. Like I always said, Oscar, I always told my friends from the time I was 17 years old when they said, Eric, why do you, I played sports. So they'd always be like, well, why do you hang out with the geek guys? The guys that study and they're scientific and do that. I said, because they rule the world. And they were like, what? I said, yeah, geeks, man, they do their thing. I said, they're the guys. Later on, you'll be using their products for whatever you need to do.
Look, I've been programming and building websites since 1995.
Jeez.
Guys, we were called geeks and freaks. Yeah. I didn't get a girlfriend. You know what? Guys like Eric used to steal the girls because nobody paid attention to us.
That's right.
We couldn't flex our brains. Now we can flex our brains.
That's right.
Now the geeks are going, okay, you give me an idea. And look, the quality of these of the presentation. This is one that you guys are looking at for the political industry. Think about this. Every major politician or any politician, it doesn't have to be major. They're all going to have their fans. They're going to have 100 fans. They're going to have 100 million fans. Their fans get to be interviewed by their political party. And you get to tell people, if you wish, why you're supporting your guy and why other people should support them. And then those videos, this is going to happen. This system will be used in the next couple of months for the political campaigns that's coming up, and we will be bigger than Cambridge Analytica because this is viralness using videos.
Exactly. And I keep thinking of the woman that's taking the world by storm via music, which is Taylor Swift. She has so great of a following and fan base, and they just send out just random things.
Yep.
Can you imagine if she was on this and she's at a concert and she starts saying things that she always says, and then she brings up a person here or talks to a people there like normal in her concert series, and now people are starting to spread that on their social media. That's tens of millions of responses. It would be insane.
She wouldn't be able to do this without something like this. And what you just explained multiplies. Technology is a force multiplier, but you have to program it to do so. Right now, all these big brains and AI I'm using the big guys in AI for this. So the big guys in AI, Google and OpenAI, and I can't tell you the other secret sauces, but there's a couple of them that we use in the industry. I take their APIs and then rework them. I do something in programming, we call it aggregation of technology. You bring 3 technologies together to create something new, something better, and something very specific. This is something very specific. So think about that. Now Taylor Swift, this is the back admin section that people are going to be able to control, where Taylor Swift now can look at all the interviews, look at where they were done. There's a map. Yeah,
nice,
we're building a global map where it shows you where the interview took place.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that going to be so this data belongs to Taylor Swift, right? Because if you guys don't know, if you get data from an individual or you give your data to a Facebook, you minimally are worth $89. Minimally.
That's right.
Right? Your name, your email, your social media accounts. If you have that in the database, Taylor Swift wants that. The car dealership wants that. All these industries want that data. This mapping system that we're putting together with the video, interviews are going to give you a visualization of where all the interviews are at, so you can see where your audience is on a map.
Wow.
Yeah, this is getting, as you can tell, I'm excited. Let's see where this is at. Oh, look, it's done. Okay, so let's share just this screen. That way you can hear the very specific video. And let's see. No, this is 9. Yeah, this is it. So watch this. Let's see if we can hear it.
Today, we have a great interview. Welcome, Eric Garcia. Here are the
Can you hear that?
Yes, we can hear it.
All right. I'll let it start from the beginning. I won't interrupt. Let's just watch what we did.
Today, we have a great interview. Welcome, Eric Garcia. Here are the 3 questions we have for you.
Welcome to our show. We have a great interview today. My first question to this great individual is, how did you hear about our company?
My answer, here I am. We're actually recording this live right now, and we're recording this live. Answer number 1 is, how did I hear about you? A friend of mine told me about you.
Great answer. Now, second question, how much have you generated in business, and what one fact can you contribute to your success?
Cord, my answer to question number 2. Answer to question number 2 is, the best thing that you can do is get up off your butt and do something for your business today.
That was motivational. Now, let's wrap it up and really give the audience what they need. Tell us, what do you suggest people to do for the next 30 days?
More question number 3. You know what? This was a pleasure recording this for the SSN Nation.
SSN Nation, thank very much. Click links.
As you guys heard it. Beautiful, right?
I love the ending. I love it.
So think about that. Now that's just our MVP. That's just our minimal viable product. January 20th, we're launching the first version of this software. We're adding lower thirds. We're adding graphics. We're going to add the ability for you to re-edit the entire sequence of it. So all of this is the capabilities here for us is we coded this. So we can change it.
That's right.
We can do anything. And the whole thing with being with business people is that we listen to the needs of the entrepreneur. We're not creating a technology that just is a fugazi, something that's not real. We're creating a technology that's real for the entrepreneur, that provides results that the entrepreneur needs, that actually multiplies you 1,000-fold. And here's the great part, because Eric alluded to it. You could charge for these interviews. If they want to interview with you, you're the expert, you're the entrepreneur, you're the owner. They want to interview with you so they can gain credibility. then you think about a direct sales company, right? Herbalife or Avon, and you're working with the #1 lady. She's making $1 million a month. If she would interview you, your business, your portion of that business can grow faster because people will know that you're working with someone that's competent, that's made money before, and it's all there on the video. She could charge $40 for that interview.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Look, Eric and I, to interview 2 people, Eric and I will charge you guys $3,000 to fly over, set up our lights, set up our cameras, do the whole interview. $3,000 later, you have a video.
Exactly.
Instant AI. If she charges you $40, that's an easy one. If she charges you $20, that's an easy one. Just do it.
That's right. That's
Just
right.
do it. And she could, right? That lady has 10,000, 100,000 sales reps that would love to be interviewed by her. And now with this technology, she can charge what she wants. We take 20% for all the processing. She takes 80% of whatever she does. It's like an Uber-like model. So Uber meets video that is meshed together by AI.
Exactly. Exactly. It's beautiful. And I love what you mentioned. January 20th is launch. But everybody here in the SSN Nation tonight, we have something special for you. First of all, why don't you go to instavidai.com and register for free so you can actually check out the demo version. Part of what you saw, he has other capabilities, but you will get the minimal capabilities right now. All right. Remember, this is going to be launched, so they're still working on it for another month and almost a week, a month and a half. And there's going to be updates to it, which is going to create other capabilities along the way that, for quite frankly, we haven't even thought about. But you guys start using it, then we'll get feedback, and then we'll be like, oh, wait a minute, we can add that. We already have it in actuality. We just got to make a few programming lines to switch it so it does it. And so I used to code a little bit, by the way, so I know how you can do it. As long as you can hear it, we'll make it. So we know coding, we can do it. So that's what's so special about this. And to be able to get in on a particular opportunity besides using the software is going to come into play as well, ladies and gentlemen. I've alluded to it last week when Oscar was on. I've talked about it when he wasn't on the Wednesday night live stream. And so now told you guys tonight, we'll talk about that a little more. But what I want to get into, Oscar, was I was in the back end checking it out today, and it worked just like you said. And there's some things that you talked about that we can't do right now in this minimal situation. And that is the ability to, I can upload or make a video. We can create the video, but your video is in play only right now. We can't upload another video at this point because that's ultimately what we're going to be doing. We'll be able to upload both ends of it, the top and the bottom. So therefore, it'll be our own video. And that's what makes it, because I'm waiting for that feature, because I actually do Dominican Republic real estate investing. And there's a video that Glennie, which is one of the top lawyers in all of the Dominican Republic, she has her own video that does what we were talking about. But you know what her video does? It's like there's questions. Instead of a person asking, it's questions that come on the screen, and then she answers them. All right. But here's the thing. She doesn't have Instavid AI. So therefore, nobody's sharing it other than it's only on her social media. So nobody has the capabilities to share it, nor do they have the capabilities. They could be actually asking the questions instead of the screen that just shows the words coming across the screen. And that changes her whole game plan for her. She would have, I'd be sharing it. I'd be sharing it tomorrow, because it's questions like, well, what happens when you need your real estate contract and it's in Spanish? And then she explains, you better get a lawyer. You know, I mean, she gives her reasons, and it's like a 30-second explanation on what she needs to do. And right now, she doesn't have the capability to send out the QR code, send out to different social medias and have people asking the questions like me. So I would be sending it out on my social media. which I can't do right now. So it makes it very nice, and I love it. So.
And look, you alluded to this perfectly. This is the back end. It's not open to the public right now. In fact, you know, all of this right now is in beta tests. You're actually looking at things that will be that you can beta test, which is the end result, you being interviewed by me. But when you control this, if you're going to sign up or you're going to participate with us in the business, we're going to give you first access. First access is SSN Nation. So
that's right.
We're going to give you guys first access where you're going to come in here and you're going to prep question number 1, question number 2, number 3, and maybe even number 4. You're going to prep it. You're going to say what the question is. You're going to record what questions you want to ask. We're going to give you a guideline. We're actually making marketing material that guides you through how to best practices on this. And there's a gentleman that we have that's amazing at interviewing with people and getting these video, interviews done traditionally. And in fact, he's my co-host right now. So you'll see that he's going to give you best practices. You're going to start your recording for your question number 1. You're going to leave that recording there for question number 1. Do the same thing for question number 2. Do the same thing for question number 3. It's that simple. So once that's there, then the system preps your page. So what we're doing right now is, for instance, giving you 2 options on prep pages. One of them looks just like the Instavid right now, which is going to be a prep that looks like this. Another one is going to be a prep that looks like this.
Nice.
This one's hot, right? This is hotness here.
That's
right.
So
we're going to give the business, especially our first beta users, you folks that choose to participate with us, we're going to give you the ability to upload a logo, upload an image here, or use one of our templates. And then when people go through the interview, those videos that you then approve, the interviews will then be on your own company profile page.
Nice. There we are.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful work.
Yep. You guys are literally seeing my screen on how we program, right? I'm like zooming out and you're seeing all these pages and stuff.
Exactly.
This is why, and I apologize. I get excited with technology. I get excited on the possibilities of what these things can do. So I know my voice is not as deep as Eric's. I can't sound like the intro of a movie, but damn it, we can design and program like no other.
You got that right, and we're going to do it with the AI too, because ultimately we're going to have the voice API that can match our own voice down the line. And then that way, just what we did at the end of the video where we type it in, it'll sound close to our own voice with the AI voice. It's going to be awesome.
So that's the next iteration, right? We're going to go with maybe 1 or 2 voices January 20th, but then every month we're only using AI technology that does not sound robotic.
Exactly.
Right? Because there's a lot of tools in AI being built, and they're just quickly launching these things. And when you do that, you choose the lowest quality code, and it sounds robotic, right? It sounds robotic. We don't want that. And we don't believe in all AI. It has to be a mixture of real people with technology that creates interactions. So this is a page, for instance, where you'll be interacting with your audience. And you know what? It just hit me, kind of like Elon Musk when he's showing his rockets and he's explaining his rockets, and he goes, "Why aren't we doing that for the other rocket?"
Exactly.
It just hit me. Exactly. We're gonna change this. We're gonna add a chat feature where if they interview, you're gonna be able to back and forth chat with them once they interview.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean,
gotta write that down.
How did I not think of that?
Exactly.
It's like we'll add that to the next iteration of this thing.
Exactly.
So this is why the key thing is here, the mapping system that we're launching. Who's your top users, right? With how many shares you know, and how many videos.
Nice.
All that data is going to be yours. And now we're going to add this chat feature where you can go back and forth with anyone who interacted with your campaign. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Wow.
We're going to do that.
But you did some things while I was gone for the week.
Oh yeah.
The GPS tracking. I love that. The location feature. Yeah. Also, you now give those that mostly shared, which was another one I love. Yeah. I love this. I love this.
And look, this is why we want a you know, interaction. If you wish to participate with us, you know, there's opportunities, and we'll get into that here in a little bit, but we take your feedback because you know what you want. And if you tell us what you want and we go, that's, you know what, not just you, but a million other yous want that too, then we'll program it. And that's the whole purpose here, right? If you're looking at us for the first time, this is not just for YouTubers.
No.
This is for sports agencies.
Yeah.
Right? The new soccer guy that just came into the team that wants to compete with Messi, now he can have, you know, an instant AI interaction with his audience. Talent agencies.
Yes.
Obviously, this is a huge one. They want to make money when they're not making movies.
That's correct. And Oscar, this is a lot of people misunderstand how artists in the movie business, why they go bankrupt, why they lose money, why they don't make money, and unless they're a huge star, you know, and you have production rights. See, that's the kicker that a lot of people don't understand. The huge stars, they have back-end deals. They also have production deals, meaning that they're executive producer or something of this nature. So they get the residual royalty type money when it goes to Netflix or when it goes on Amazon or wherever it goes. The ordinary actor who's just coming up, all they get is their $250,000 check. That's it. And then they're working for 6 months to a year. And 250,000, 125 is gone. It's gone. And most people have 10 to 25% deals with agents and wardrobe or whoever to make them look good on the red carpet or whatever. And so another 25% is gone over the gross. So you thought you had 125, but you had to pay another 50,000 for your agent and a few other people. So you net 70 grand. And people are like, oh, you're a star, you're in the movies, but these guys net 70 grand after working for 6 months to a year. And they couldn't work for another job. They can't work 2 movies or 3 movies at the same time or do a TV show. They can't do anything. No. So they're losing revenue. And this is why this is very powerful, because even if they were doing their work, they can still be putting out content saying, hey, this new movie's coming out. And now they have it shared and they can monetize it with their fans who are very happy to share and support you. And that is what's going to change things totally. And now we have also residual stuff that I can see in my head. I'm like, oh my God, I did some things when we started our new movie, and now I'm giving promos, but I'm giving promos on Instavidai. The movie's not even out yet. And people are getting behind the scenes snippets and sharing them, and we can monetize it. I mean, it's crazy when you start thinking about the possibilities.
That's a great idea, right? So look, you can still see my screen, right?
Yes, yes.
So I looked up some artists, you know, and you know, movie artists and what have you. Kim Kardashian is someone everybody knows, so I just clicked on it. Look at her followings on X, 75.2 million. So let's do the numbers. 75 million people that if she would do an interview, and let's say only 1% of those people, that's 750,000, will do an interview and she would charge $20. We could make Kim Kardashian $15 million every 4 minutes. Just by, and look, that's on one campaign. She has multiple businesses, like you were just saying. She has her clothing, her you know, her perfume, her shoes, her purses, her makeup, her blah 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 blah.
Exactly.
All of these people have that stagnation problem. Justin Bieber has a huge stagnation problem. Hasn't launched an album out there. Okay, let's get his 111 million followers to do an interview with him. Let's say 20% do. That's 22 million. He charges, it's Justin Bieber. He charges $50. He makes 1.1 billion. Billion.
Look, I don't like big numbers. Let's go with Justin Bieber at 111 million followers. Let's go with, you said 10% is 11 million. Okay? 1% is 1 million.
Yeah.
And those 1 million does $50.
55 million.
Exactly. Exactly.
And enough to pay for his brand new boat. Now,
exactly.
If you're one of our beta testers and you come online and you bring us a Justin Bieber, there's a revenue opportunity there. We revenue share on our side of the pie.
That's right.
We'll get into that one later. But
and it's SSN Nation style, ladies and gentlemen. You guys know I love sharing and I love trying to help ordinary citizens, Oscar. I call them OCs. All right. You're the OG for Oscar Garcia, but we have OCs, ordinary citizens. They rarely get opportunities from startups. I live in California, so I can tell stories of like I give stories every now and then about Uber and Lyft and all these guys, Airbnb, because they're in San Francisco. And if you're not in that area, there's no opportunity for you to get 50, 100,000 shares for $10,000 when they first started, right? You hear about it later, but you got to be in the $1 million club at that point. You have to be an accredited investor at that point. But like I could have been in Airbnb, Uber at $25,000 when they first came out and had hardly anything, just talking crazy. And then I was looking at them crazy too, because I was like, what are you talking about? This is not going to be a thing. And it turns out 12, 14 years later, a thing, but you have no way of knowing back then what's happening with Instavid. You're giving people an opportunity in real time, real world, and know that it works. This is what people need now. This isn't some pipe dream that doesn't exist and people are going, what is this? This is kind of weird. This is happening now, and you just illustrated the start of it, and it's easy to see that this could be huge. And it's going to be huge, quite frankly, because there's nobody that's going to turn down being able to produce something in 10 to 15, 20 minutes. I mean, that's ridiculous. So, you know, it's crazy. And Vanessa Comagate, the seamless genius, she used to work at studios, and she's saying my example, she's going, that's exactly right. That was the nature of the strikes because they don't keep getting paid. And so that's one of the problems. And this eliminates, see, you weren't thinking of that feature, but actually it comes into play because people are going to be going, wait a minute, I can monetize myself. There's plenty of people that have 1 million, 2 million that are in the music, movies, entertainment industry. But they can't monetize it. That's the problem. They can monetize my album came out or my production that I did came out. But soon as there's no more production and the thing came out, now you're forgotten about because the next latest greatest thing came out. But now you get to engage people longer without actually putting an album out, like in Justin Bieber's case. He has 111 million. He doesn't have to put an album out ever. Because all he has to do is just go, hey guys, just do the interview thing, and 1%, that's $50 million. I think I want $50 million this next month.
All right.
I mean, seriously.
Right.
That's what's going to happen. That's seriously what's going to happen. So I love it.
That was a great comment you brought up with that young lady. That's so true that the way YouTube and Hollywood looks at beneath that 1 million subscriber mark is ridiculous to me.
Exactly.
Ridiculous. Stupid.
Exactly.
You should be able, I mean, think about it. If you had 1 million followers, you're only making 10 grand a month.
Exactly.
Those followers love you, respect you, want to be with you, want to be part of your story, right? They want to be part of your story.
That's
And the
right.
way you do that is you interact with them, and they would gladly give you $10, $20 for an interview, so they can say, I got to meet Madonna once for like 2 minutes. I was doing print material at the time. This was in the early 90s for Warner Brothers Records. So I've done a lot of marketing for a lot of people. I've done a lot of websites in Las Vegas. I've done a lot of startups. But, meeting her for 2 minutes, was kind of nice. But, I would interview with her and say, you know what? She was this type of person. She was this, she was that.
Exactly.
She wasn't the best person in the world, but still, let's say she was.
Yeah.
And she actually gave a crap about me going, hi, Madonna.
Right. Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I would gladly, pay her the amount of an album just so I can be in a video right next to her. Same way all of us, that when we go to conventions and we see a huge person in our industry, we don't want to only take a picture of them. We want to take a picture with them. And if we took a video with them and we did some kind of promo, that is gold, right?
Exactly.
The problem is only like 15 people out of 10,000 get that chance.
Exactly. Because you're guarded. It's guarded.
Yep.
And that's the thing. A lot of people see, I have these little snippets, some videos that I had in the past, and there was no social media, just like, in the 90s, when you're working at Warner Brothers back in the day and stuff, there's no real, in fact, our phones couldn't even do what they can do now. So you would not have 30-minute or 10-minute or 5-minute videos because there wasn't a phone incapable of that. You couldn't just whip out your phone because you only had like, I can't remember, but it was probably like 500 megabytes. So there's no way you're recording. And then you didn't have the SD cards in your phone in the first place. So whatever your phone had is all you could use. And before you know it, you're out. And so you couldn't have done anything. So I have all this stuff that luckily people made videos, and then they send me DVDs. I have videos from 20 years ago that I never would have had. These people had them. And this is the key right here, is what you're doing is making it possible for, like you said, when you're at events and there's superstars are in the house, there's so many that I'm talking to and used to hang out with, and I could have whipped out my phone in 2 minutes. We're talking for 15, 20 minutes. 2 minutes, I could have done several things, because they're always like, hey, if you know them once or twice, they'll be like, yeah, man, let's do something for 5 minutes, 3 minutes. And that material could have been used for eons, and people sharing it like on Instavidai. And that's what makes this very special, because I've ran into this so much when I said, hey, I got to show you, and I make these SSN lifestyle videos. It's only because somebody has a video and they sent it to me. I didn't have the luxury of having Instavidai, because if I'd had that, then I would have all the damn videos. It wouldn't be an issue, So that's what makes it so special, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
He had artists like Chris Brown charging $1,000 for a pic with it. There you go. There you go.
Exactly.
So we know some version of this business model has been done. I also remember I was helping Universal Records once produce this software, and I was up on the towers, and they told me about a software that if you ask a question but you gave a donation, your question was moved up to the top. So people would pay to get early access, so that artists can read their questions or tweet, before anybody else's.
That's right.
This is a similar business model, right? Except we're talking about video interviews that will give pride and joy to the fan, not just a pick for $1,000.
Exactly. Exactly. Because exactly. That's what makes this. This is it's fluid. So just because what we see right now, just like when I was gone for a week, I come back. You already like, hey man, I got this GPS location. Now I got the most shared thing. Now we're gonna have the chat thing. I'm just like, it's fluid. Things are gonna change for the better.
Oh yeah,
make it
product. technology is never the end all, be all in first iteration. We're going to iterate constantly. We are now talking to okay, until we speak to them, I'm not going to tell you who exactly it is, but there is government agencies, thanks to, someone that Eric met, there's government agencies that are actually getting on the phone with us on Monday. And then I have a huge sales company that sells women's products, and they have millions of dollars in sales already. They're talking to us on Monday to see the technology, to give us their wants and needs, and we're going to iterate based on what they tell us.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I love this so much. Now, let's see, what should we tell people to do right now? Should they go over to Instavid AI and at least register for the free version?
Yeah,
so they can get familiar with it, because that'll be the beta testers as well.
Yeah, so be one of our beta testers. Go to Instavid.ai, register, pick the free registration. You don't, but listen, that's one. Okay, can we tell them about the other?
Yes, we can get into it tonight.
Let's get into it. If you're looking to help push this company forward, and you see what we see, and you believe what we believe, if you believe that the future of AI is something practical like this, that can produce results like this, and you could see what we could see, then consider, partnering with us, fund us. There's a way you can do that. We'll get into it privately. You can email us at info@instavidai.com, instavidai.com, info@instavidai.com. Reach out to me. Tell me what you're thinking that you're capable of doing. I'll send you options. We do debt financing right now. We are doing other options, but we are looking for, literally our backers, our supporters, people, our beta testers. So you have 2 rounds right now. Become a beta tester, and then, try out the system and then consider it, or become one of our backers. And what we're saying is that if you do that, and you introduce us to people and they get started with us, definitely our goal is to make sure that you're blessed and we're blessed simultaneously, and then that way we can all move forward together. We are a startup. There's risk in any startup.
That's
but
correct.
as you can see, we are doing the work. There is no SEAL Team 6 out there. We're it.
Exactly.
We're it. No one's coming. I love SSN, that no one's coming to save you, his shirt, right?
Exactly.
He's the CEO. No one's coming to save you. We know no one's coming to save us.
That's right.
But we are hardworking individuals. One of my let me pull this up and I'll show you guys this.
Yeah, and something to mention, when you send them a message, make sure you mention SSN Nation. All right, we have a special deal for you, because I'll use the word that I like, equity. That's what I like. This is limited time, SSN Nation members. I didn't set up the Ring of Fire because I was thinking you guys can just go direct with Oscar. I spoke with him. Reach him at info@instavidai.com, but put in the line, the title, SSN Nation, because we have a special deal, ladies and gentlemen. Remember what we're talking about here. When we're talking about music, the reason why the superstars make money is because, again, they are now, I'm the executive producer. They are now doing things where they can get paid on the back end, not just from album sales, or in these days, streaming, which is worth nothing. So they got to make money a different way. So you are going to be able to help out and be a part of Instavid AI, and that means equity up to a certain time frame. It's limited, because as soon as other people get involved, then if the cutoff happens, you're not going to be able to be like Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank, who gets some his royalties, or get some of his what does he like to do, those points after, give me my points back, what I had put in, and all that crazy. Right now you have an open opportunity. That's what I love. Oscar, we're giving them the opportunity to get in and be a part of, shall I just say, part of the equity team, part of being invested inside of the company. And that's why you are going to want to share it. That's why you're going to want to tell people about it. That's why you're going to learn about it, because you are going to be part of the team, so to speak, a certain way. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be cut off. I'm just going to say right now, I think it's going to be cut off in about 2 weeks. That's what I really think, because there's a number that we have, which I'm not going to tell people. And that number, I think, may be reached probably sometime after Christmas, because people are doing Christmas things. But I guarantee you, by early January, before launch, this opportunity where you're going to have equity is not going to happen. All right. Me and Oscar talked about this, and everybody here in the SSN Nation, you guys get this along with me. All right. I'm no different than you. I get the same percent no matter what with the equity. All right. I'm just telling you guys. You guys know I'm fully transparent with what I'm doing. Now, because I'm doing some other things with the company, okay, maybe I get a little bit extra. But the point I'm trying to make is I'm putting money into. So I'll just put it to you this way. By Monday, because we have limits on Zelle and all this, but it's nothing major. I told everybody on Wednesday, I said, I'm putting in $1,000 myself just for starters. But we're also bringing other people to the party. So on Monday, he's going to be talking with some other guys that are pretty major. They're geeks too. There's a geek in the crowd. There's some investors in the crowd. There's lawyers in the crowd. He's going to be talking to them, and they do video presentations, and they don't, when he saw this, he's like, wait a minute, it takes me hours to do this stuff. Now they're about to do something, I think, that's going to be off the charts. They're probably going to be in this some way or another.
Yeah.
Because the time it takes for him to process and do everything. We did a 1 hour podcast when I was in DR yesterday. Yesterday morning before I got on the flight, we did a 1 hour, maybe even 1 hour and 15-minute video podcast. That won't be released until probably Monday.
Yeah.
I think he's probably rendering it, doing the editing and doing splicing and putting in video and doing all this crazy. But if he would have had this, he could have separated it out already. It would have been done.
Yep.
He could have been editing the whole whatever, I think it's an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes. But what he could have been doing is he could have been taking a minute. He could have been splicing out and putting it on here, because we're doing Q&A. We're saying, well, what do you think about it being on the cliff, right? We're talking about a real estate project. What do you think about this? We're doing question and answers.
Yes.
Except it's in a podcast format. He could have spliced it and sent it up to Instavid, and he would have had it already out here, some of it. And then people would be like, oh, man, I got to see the whole thing. But then he could have been like saying, well, the whole thing's going to be out on Tuesday, because he knows it's going to be out on Tuesday. In fact, yeah, it's going to be Tuesday before it's even possible. So that's the funny part about this. And so that's what makes it special for them, plus some other things, like I told you. Actually, what I'm going to tell you right now, I was giving you the example of Hachi Cuevas, she's Glennie, that was doing the lawyer thing, the Q&A, which is on Canal Paz TV, ladies and gentlemen. That goes, you don't even know about this. No. It goes to Chile. It goes to South America. That's what Christian and those guys are doing. It goes to South America. They have their own Canal Paz TV. And so when we do the podcast, it's running on Canal Paz America TV. They have Canal Paz Chile, Canal Paz America, right? Right. That's what they're doing, right? So it's coming out on there. But like I said, it'll probably be Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday. But the point is, they could have already had teasers going out that day. That when we did it yesterday, there would be teasers out already. And of course, I'd be sharing it because I'm part of it. Right. I mean, that's crazy. And I'm part of Canal Paz America. So, I mean, this is crazy. And Glennie is also part of Canal Paz TV for Chile, because she speaks Spanish and English. So that video that she had, he could have chopped it up, put it on Instavid already, and would have had somebody asking the questions, because I would have done it. Anybody could have done it. And then she could have already had it going out. And I'd have been promoting it myself. So that's the power that this is right here. So again, ladies and gentlemen, you have an opportunity to be on something that I don't think anybody has thought of until now. All right, what he's doing. So if
and,
you want to
and
do
as ground
financial,
floor as you get, as ground floor as you
exactly,
get.
exactly. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to get too many opportunities for startup possibilities. So again, Oscar, thank you so much. If you want to discuss anything further, feel free.
I want to just share something. And look, prior success does not say anything about future success or anything like that. But
Exactly.
let me share with you that one of the last technologies I built, I was able to showcase it at NASDAQ and win business presentation awards at NASDAQ. I've done a TED talk about that, technology. Not only that, that technology was featured at the Vatican.
Yes.
Rome reports. Here's the Vatican. Their station, Rome reports, and I had the privilege because I got into showing technologies and possibilities of technologies, and here I am being interviewed at the Vatican for those technologies. So I'm not saying that this is my first rodeo. It's definitely not. What I'm saying is I definitely know how much work there is to do. But the exciting part is that we have something that already works, that we're making it better daily. And then with your input and other people's input, meaning Eric's input already changed us. Other people's input is already changing us.
That's right.
When we can come together in this timeline, when everyone's talking about AI, and launch this product at the first month of next year, 2024 is going to be an exciting time.
Exactly. Yeah. And Vanessa Comagate, she's the seamless genius as well. She comes up with business ideas that just simple stuff. Can you believe she does the Airbnb of malls?
Wow.
Unbelievable. She's figured out a way to monetize a kiosk of all things.
Oh, wow.
It's just like we're doing, kind of like the video thing. She has kiosk and she gets people to rent the kiosk and she actually is leasing it to them. So she sits at home while a business is actually doing that. And then they pay her a monthly check. It's incredible, man. It's
entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are creators, right?
Exactly.
Oh, what does he say here? So we
here
can refer this to content. Yes, you can refer this to content creators and be our referral partners. Absolutely, we're working on all that. Look, email us if you're interested in partnering up with us. info@instavidai.com. Email us. Tell me what your interest is. I'll email you back. We'll start rolling with things. People need tax write-offs this year.
That's right.
Better than being part of an AI revolution that is practical to entrepreneurs.
Exactly. And speaking of that, that's very important. I discussed this about 2 weeks ago. I said, this is the time. Here's what the big boys do. It's the end of the year, and the big boys, I mean by the stock market guys, the guys that own their venture capitalist funds, equity funds, hedge funds, whatever. They are sitting around. This is why the market does what it does, because they're sitting there going, you know what, guys, we made X amount of dollars. We need a write-off. So we need to buy something. So that way we can use that against our profits. And so that's the thing right there. And anything that has to do with your 401k monies, if you haven't reached your max, if you had your own solo 401k, you haven't reached your max, all of that you can put money into and write off for 2023 on your taxes next year. This right here is a legitimate business, which, by the way, it's GS Ventures. What's the name of the company again?
G Ventures Trust. G Ventures Trust.
Yeah. G Ventures. Yeah.
A trust owns the technology.
Exactly.
So G Ventures Trust owns the technology. It'll spin off to an umbrella company, and then it'll go everywhere.
Yes. So, and we can tell them the piece of the pie you mentioned earlier. When she mentioned this here, I wrote this. I call it royalties. I don't know what to call it right now. But the thing is, if you refer another person, you were saying there's a 20-80 split of some sort. I just didn't, we have that in place already.
We take that 20% and you get part of our 20% for referring these content creators that need, they all need this. They all need this. 51 million YouTube channels need this.
Yes. And the thing is, the guys that have 1 million and up, they're going to sit there and be like, well, no big deal. But people in my category and below and up to 1 million,
up to 1 million.
We can't get enough people to see anything.
Yeah.
So this is a game changer. Even if you had 500 people, in fact, you don't even have to be monetized. This works for new people because they don't understand. Again, I just say things. People used to go, Eric, I did like 7 months when I first started. I did 1 video a week or 2 videos a week because I was just doing this for fun, trying to help people. Then about 6-7 months in, I got an email from YouTube that said, congratulations, you are non-monetized. I was like, wait, what? Monetized? Wait, I can make money doing this? And so, but here's the funny part. The whole time I was doing this, because I'm a business person, I had the videos just like this one right here. People go, oh, Eric, we only have X amount of views. I said, I don't worry about that because I have it going to other platforms that don't count the views on this platform. And so I was making money the whole time from the other platforms and money coming in. So I didn't even care about monetize. But then I realized, wait, I can monetize YouTube. And then I was like, oh my God, I was making money the whole time. Just like now, I don't even care about YouTube money because it's kibbles. It's only a few $100. And I have 15,000 subscribers. So again, like your chart showed, a person can have 30,000, 40,000, and all they have is a few $100 coming in. And you got to spend all these hours to produce videos, re-record, edit, do all kind of crazy. And here we have a piece of the pie, like she's saying, is possible. And there's 2 ways you can get, actually, I think there's 3 ways you can get a piece of the pie. One is you need to get in touch with Oscar like ASAP if you want some of that equity that I'm talking about, because that's the only way it's going to happen. After a certain time, that will not be one of the options. Then you're going to have to go with what type Vanessa was saying, I get a piece of the pie by sharing it and getting in other content creators. And then you can get a piece of the pie by actually creating content and charging people. That's another way you can get it. And there's several different things. As a business person, you can use it to promote your products or business and things like that, that in a different way that you're not able to do right now, because most businesses, we can only leave it on our social media. And that doesn't do us any good. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. On Instagram, I get no love anywhere. On Instagram, they sent me a message about a month ago. And they said, for whatever reason, I don't even know why, they just go, oh, we're only going to send out your info to whoever's your followers. I was like, why? Nothing happened. I never got any strikes or notifications. I don't even know why. But then I'm like, well, this is par for the course because these guys can do whatever they want. I don't even know why. I've never had any problems with Instagram whatsoever. And they said, oh, we're restricting it to only your followers can see it. And I was like, what? I sent them a message like, why? What happened? Something that I don't know about. And that's one of the downfalls. And right now, even if they restrict it like they were doing, it wouldn't matter. I have Instavidai, so even my followers would actually help me out by pushing it out. And this is the thing. And that's one of the reasons why this is so powerful. It frees up the ordinary citizen from being jacked by all these platforms. And there's other things too that I can get in on another day. But this is one of those things. I'm anti anybody that tries to block people. I understand if somebody acts a fool, they're lying, they're making threats, they're doing something illegal or something like that. Okay, that makes sense. But just waking up and being like, well, we're only going to restrict it. And you're like, well, all I do is post like my videos, which are not even negative or anything. And I put motivational messages and I'm like, restricted. Why? And I don't get it. And then X did the same thing. They sent, and so they're all like together or something. And so all of a sudden I got X saying, hey, we're going to take this video out. And I go look at the video and it's something motivational, like just keep going, you know, don't give up. And I'm looking at this thing like, where is this? What is this?
Yeah.
You know, I can't believe it, man. So This is beautiful, man. So I'm glad you're here. That's all we can pretty much say, ladies and gentlemen. Put in the title SSN Nation.
Yes.
All right. So he knows it's you.
Subject matter has to be SSN Nation.
That's right.
I don't respond to thousands of emails unless I know where they're coming from. SSN Nation, please.
Exactly. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Then he can talk real business that we can't really discuss right now. And me and him, and I got to tell, I told everybody, you weren't around since Monday, but I talked about it on Wednesday, and I did another live stream on Thursday. But I told everybody, and again, I was transparent. I said, guys, I'm not part of the company yet. I said, but I have an agreement, and I didn't sign it. I was in DR, but I'm going to sign the agreement just so you guys know. So I'm going to be part of this company. All right. Just so you guys understand. So you'll see me around, and so then I'll be promoting it. But what we're talking about right now, that's about it. That's all I can talk about. You're going to have to contact Oscar and get in touch with him, and then he can go into further details. And again, it's going to be, I would go this route. All I'm going to say is grab that duffel bag of cash, use some of it, and get in this program. I'm doing a little duffel bag of cash of my own, and I'm in, and I'm going to be helping out the company as well. So I'm more than just, we're going to be doing this. I'm going to be actually trying to get some people to invest. I'm going to get people to actually use the service. We're going to be promoting. So again, there's so many different avenues of money coming in your pocket. So don't go shy on me now, ladies and gentlemen. All right. This is opportunities that you always dream about. And then you say, I wish I would have knew about it back then. This is what's going to happen. And then we're going to be sitting here with more duffel bags of cash with big smiles on our face. And you guys are going to be like, what's going on? Oscar and Eric's riding their motorcycles in Cali. I'm just like, I'm sorry, guys. We're too busy now because we didn't have to do anything anymore. So,
well, Instavid will be doing it for us.
Exactly. Exactly. We won't have to do anything.
Yeah.
So T-minus 1 month, 4 days before the official launch. T-minus about 2 weeks before you're going to lose your equity position, because we're going to have enough people putting money behind this project where he's not going to give this offer for SSN Nation members.
Yeah.
All right.
Angel round will stop. That's all we're doing. We're just doing a small angel round. That's it.
Exactly. And quite frankly, there's a couple people that could end it within a week or in a few days, quite frankly, if they really wanted to. So you guys got to get in while the getting in is good. That's all I can say. Well, Oscar, I think we pretty much summed it up.
Yep.
All right. So thank you so much for being here. And by the way, I know you're a little under the weather, and I'm glad you're doing a little better. So I'm glad you were able to hang out this evening on the Saturday night live stream, because we rarely do these, but it's important. These guys only have a short window of opportunity. So thank you for being here. All right.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Eric. Definitely. We'll talk soon.
Exactly. All right. See you later. Bye-bye.